on the grid, getting ready to go racing here at Abu Dhabi for the final race of the Formula 1 season here at Motive. Who's going to take this one? Is it going to be Max GT? Can GTJ take the fight to him? Can Joram fight his way through from the back here to potentially get a podium? Here we go, the lights coming on now. We're about to go racing here at the Yas Marina Circuit. And it is lights out and away we go. And it's a good start there from GTJ on the medium tyres. Gets the jump here on Max GT up towards turn 1. Has the lead coming through the corner. As we look back down the order, looks like we got side by side there as Horatio loses out to the Grieve and now has Clarky Boy and Matty Pitt on the back of him here. But clean start, I think. Oh, the left doesn't say that. Oh no, what's happened there? That was attack on fighting into the wall. No, T goes into the wall. So T has already lost his front wing. Attack on fighting down to the back. GTJ leads ahead of Christy, followed by Bleak the Bleak, then in the Grieve. You've got Horatio, Clarky Boy, Matty Pitt ahead of Dr. Van Millen, followed by Raki and Joram. The two Red Bull teammates side by side here at the moment with Rednass and Joris currently banning out of 11th and 12th places at the moment. Pete Heward, Max GT down to 14th place. What happened to him through turns 2 and 3? I have no idea what happened to him. He's gone from the pole position down to P14. No damage by the looks of it, so he's had a spin clearly. You've got Chicken Wing on the back of him with Street Boy T ahead of Attack on Fighting, and TTV managed to get in the session at the end there, so that's good to see him racing here tonight. But we've got GTJ currently with Chrissy Hassel in the back of him there, Vlieg ahead of the Grieve, followed by Horatio, Clarky Boy, Matty Pitt, Dr. Van Millen ahead of Joram, followed by Raki. You've got Rednass as Joris there goes a little bit wide, and Pete Heward sneaks up the inside there up into 12th place. Didn't need a second invitation there. Max GT's watching this unfold in front of him as Pete Heward around the outside, Joris Cooper's even around the outside there of Pete Heward as they're now coming through this tricky section of the track. Max GT goes around the outside of Pete Heward, gets himself into 13th very routinely there. Pete Heward here is oh, what's happening there? T's dropped down the order. T's obviously missing his front wing. What's happening? Joris Cooper's, what's happened to Joris Cooper's? He's just gone off and he's lost his front wing as well, so his front wing is going flying here on his opening lap of the race. This is unbelievable as Pete Heward has now got ahead of Max GT up into 11th place. That's because Max is in the pits here at the end of the first lap, presumably to fix the damage. It wasn't showing up on the car, but clearly a bit of damage from the incident which dropped him down from pole down to 14th place. You got Max, Dr. Van Millen and T and Joris Queepers all into the pits as Matty Pitt has made the move on Clarky Boy. Clarky Boy's lost a few places here. He must have made a mistake there. You can see he must have had a bit of a spin coming down towards the chicane because he's down to 11th place. He's lost quite a few places there as Chicken Wing is now pulling up onto the back of Clarky Boy in this battle for 11th place. But right now it's GTJ out the front, has got a 0.3 of a second gap over Christy at this point, ahead of Bleak the Bleak, followed by the Grieve. You've got Horatio there ahead of Matty Pitt. Joram up into 7th place in this race, so he's done absolute bits here over the course of the first lap and a half of this race to get himself into 7th from 19th on the grid, or 18th I think it was, with TTV starting last. But Rednass now ahead of Raki up into 8th place. He's made that move. Street Boy's currently hassling the back of Chicken Wing, but no DRS just yet to help him out. He's going to have to use grunt or wait for his opportunity there. Clarky Boy now running in P13. Doesn't look like he got any damage from that spin, so he's just got to regroup and go again here. You got Attack on Fighting running a little way off of this battle there in P14 at TTV, a long way off of those guys, but Max GT, Dr. Van Millen, T and Joris Queepers all having made their pit stops there at the end of the first lap, are way off at the back of them. But it's GTJ and Chrissy still out in front, still battling over the lead here. Joram now sizing up another opponent here in the shape of Matty Pitt, who's currently running in P6 in this race at the moment. Street Boy's still close on the back of Chicken Wing, and T is now trying to bring the gap down to Dr. Van Millen, but the two leaders out the front, GTJ and Chrissy, currently the closest battle out on track as Street Boy's got ahead of so I don't know whether Chicken Wing's made a mistake, but he looks like he's dropped back a bit. Rednass has now made the move on the Grieve as well, and the Grieve made a mistake. He's lost out to Raki, so the Grieve there having a bit of a moment. Chicken Wing's got ahead of Clarky Boy and Attack on Fighting, so Clarky Boy must have had a bit of damage from that spin. It didn't look like it, but he must have ended up in a wall somewhere. But GTJ and Chrissy still out the front, still battling this one out. Joram's got ahead of Matty Pitt up into P5. Nice done there from Joram. GTJ and Chrissy, though, the two leaders coming into the hairpin for the third time in this race. Chrissy's trying to get the cut back here on GTJ. These two have just about, I think, broken the DRS to Vlieg. Or have they? No, they haven't. Vlieg's still clinging on, but Chrissy here DRS on GGJ. This is for the lead of the race. He's looked to the outside. GGJ's going to send him round the long way here, but Chrissy's going to go for it here. He manages to find the grip on the outside brilliantly there from Chrissy. Up into the lead of the race there. GGJ gave him the space on the outside, saw him coming, had no choice really, had to leave him a car's whip, and GGJ has now lost the lead. Chrissy, racing as a late standing reserve tonight, is in P1 in this race as Attack on Fighting has picked up a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting, so he is clearly been overstepping those track limits a little bit aggressively there. Chrissy still leads out of GGJ, followed by Bleak of Lead. You've got Horatio has now got Joram looming large in his rearview mirrors. Joram obviously started 18th in this race after qualifying on the wet tyres on a bone dry track, but yeah, nonetheless, here he is trying to get himself into 4th place here as they're coming down the start-finish straight, and Joram will be looking to try and go after the top 3 if he can. They're a little way up the road though, they're about 5-6 seconds up the road, so he's got work to do here in this race as Attack on Fighting's got ahead of T up into 16th, but they're still fighting. I tell you what, T Latifi's trying to come back at Attack on Fighting, but can't do it at the moment as he's looking up the inside here. But Attack on Fighting closes the door for the time being. Racky's still got the crease, Haas in the back of him for 8th place. But Attack on Fighting's lost out to Dr. Van Millen. In fact, those two are having a bit of a scuffle here for 17th place, but Dr. Van Millen has made the move there up into P17, and Joram is now on the back of Horatio. In fact, he's got ahead of him down the long straight, which leads towards the hairpin, so Joram now up into 4th place, can now focus his attention on the podium spots 4.5 seconds up the road. Chrissy still leads ahead of GGJ. GGJ this time has got the slipstream and the DRS, but he'll get there a little bit too late, I think. Chrissy defending the inside for good measure, but he doesn't need to. GGJ's too far back coming into that corner. So it's Chrissy from GGJ, Bleak of League, still tracking these as Horatio's come back at Joram. Wow, didn't expect that one. I'm sure Joram didn't either. Horatio there got some DRS of his own and managed to return the favour there on Joram. And we've got a safety car. We've got a safety car because Attack on Fighting is out of the race. That is going to shake up the strategy a bit. Attack on Fighting has retired from the race. So safety car on lap 4 here, and that will give everybody, I think, a chance to come into the pits and get some fresh boots on. Is anybody going to try and put the hard tyres on and go to the end from here? That is probably a possibility at this stage, but nonetheless here we've got a safety car on lap 4 of 28 for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix here at Motive on the Codemasters Formula 1 game for Season 3 of the F1 League, the final round of this season. And yeah, stay tuned guys, this one's going to be an interesting one. we are then, guys, getting ready to go once again here. The safety car, I think, should be ending this lap, is it? I don't know. Should be, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Oh, it's still here. What? Oh, are you kidding me? Why? Oh, it's still here. Here we are then, guys, we're getting ready to go here for the restart, lap 7 of 28. We've got Joram staying out on the same medium tyres that he started the race on, obviously qualified on the wet tyres for some reason. So he started in P18 on the grid, but he's worked his way up. Obviously a lot of the drivers have been coming into the pits to make pit stops, obviously to get fresh tyres on, one of them being GGJ, who's on the hard tyres and could maybe go to the end from here. So he's in quite a good position, but Joram, Rednas, De Grieve and Raki all opting to stay out on the same tyres they started the race on. Rednas on the soft, the other three on the mediums, and everybody else practically has been into the pits, barring Clarky Boy, who came in a couple of laps into the race, as well as Max GT, likewise in the same situation as him, Dr. Van Minden as well as Joris Queepers. Everybody else has either come in or they're one of the top four, Joram, Rednas, De Grieve and Raki, who have stayed out on the same tyres they qualified on. But nonetheless, we're about to go racing as Joram has left it to the last minute here. We are now underway as we've got 3 wide in the background. Raki here is going to be backed into this pack of cars, and he's spun around. Raki's lost it. Always going to be careful. I think somebody ghosted through him there. Raki's down to the back on this restart. That could not have gone much worse for him. Chrissy's got around Rednas up into 4th place. Down towards the chicane they come. Chrissy's looking to make moves quickly here. He's looking racy on the back of GGJ. Joram's already clearing away. He's already got a second of a gap here over the Grieve. But we can see Horatio and Max GT battling it out. The two McLarens side by side into the hairpin. Max down the inside makes the move there up into P8. Matty Pitt in the background there in P10. Had Dr. Van Minden followed by P2. You've got T there running in 13th place. It's got Street Boy now all over him as the two Williams battling it out down the long straight here. Here goes Street Boy looking to try and make the move here on the brakes, surely. No, I think it's better with that one, a little bit too far back in that instance. You've got Chicken Wing on the back of Joris Queepers with TTV pretty close. Horatio's got ahead of Max GT. In fact, Max has dropped behind Matty Pitt as well. So Max must have made a bit of a mistake there, losing 2 positions. Here goes Matty Pitt now around the outside of Horatio. No DRS this time around. Pure run here for the Mercedes against the McLaren. Very late on the brakes there from Horatio. Does he get it stopped in time? He doesn't. Matty's going to swoop around in there through the chicane, and Matty Pitt gets it done up into 8th place. Dr. Van Minden's got ahead of Max, and Max is losing places here on this restart, and that's not gone to plan. The way he would have wanted it to. I think I'm using the wrong bloody headphone. Checking the audio. Right, does it sound better now? Yes, it does. Sorry about that, everybody. Right, we were using the wrong headphone there, so we sounded like we were speaking from about 3 rooms away, but nonetheless, we've got Max GT down the inside of Dr. Van Midden. As we can see, the battle's still going on between GGJ and Chrissy. Joe has broken away a little bit. The Grieve is running in second place. He's currently holding up a train of cars here. GGJ, Chrissy very, very close behind. GGJ running on fresh hard tyres, which I'm sure he'll be hoping to go to the end on, unless we have any more safety cars. GGJ is going to get the run there out of the hairpin. They're going to be side by side there. GGJ and the Grieve. Chrissy in the background there is looking racy here as well on the fresh stuff. So we're looking to try and make that tyre advantage count here. He's got nowhere to go there as he gets stuck behind GGJ, and Chrissy was just easing him into the back of GGJ. Still around the outside of the Grieve though. Chrissy gets the move done into the third, but the Grieve is going to be keeping it there on the outside. They're going to be side by side. The Grieve is going to get it straight back off of him here, coming down the second chicane, coming out of the second chicane, down the second straight, should I say, down to the end of the second straight. You can see there the League of Leagues made the move on Rednass there on the brakes, to come the inside, had to back out on that one. The Grieve has got ahead of Chrissy now, up into the final podium spot. This has allowed GGJ to put out a bit of a gap to these guys now. He's got over a second to them in the Grieve, holding on for dear life ahead of Chrissy at the moment. Chrissy though is on the faster, fresher tyres and should be able to make the move on him, you would think, but so far hasn't been able to do so. The Grieve with a massive slide there. They're keeping onto it for the time being, as Joe has opened up a 4.5 second gap out of the front. Here it goes, Chrissy looking around the outside of the Grieve, but the Grieve still hanging it on the inside at the moment, still hugging all those apexes and not allowing any way through there for Chrissy. Down the start finish straight they come. Can Chrissy make this happen here? He's right on the back of him as he's now looking to the inside. Is he going to send one here? Here goes Chrissy, sends one up the inside and makes the move, sticker up into third place. Now can the Grieve come back in him, or has Chrissy finally got that one done up into third place? League of League now looking to try and knock the Grieve while he's down if he can. He's looking to the inside, coming into the chicane. He's going to send one here. Here goes League of League, but the Grieve covers him off. I'll tell you what, I thought he was going to absolutely go balls to the wall there, as we've got Clarky Boy's got ahead of Rednass up into P6. Clarky Boy now going after these leaders on the same tyres that he's been on for a little while now. He obviously came in at the end of the first lap with damage, and that's actually worked out for him in a funny kind of way. But League of League is just ahead of the Grieve at the moment, as these two battling out over 4th and 5th places at the moment. Joanne with a 5.5 second lead over GGJ. That gap is extending at this point, as Chrissy's still running in P3. Street Boy and Dr. Van Midden still battling it out over 11th and 12th, and Dr. Van Midden's lost it there coming through the chicane at the end of the long straight, and he's going to lose out, I think, as well to Joris Queepers. Joris Queepers actually gets passed back by him there, as we've got another safety car. We've got another safety car. Why? TTV is retired from the race. Chicken Wing was already out of the race, and we have got ourselves another safety car here. So I don't know why, but yeah, we've got another safety car. To remember which one's my good headphone. Here we are then, guys. We're getting ready to go for the second restart of the night. We've had a couple of safety car periods here. Lap 12 of 28. GGJ staying out on the hard tyres, which you put on a few laps ago. We've now got a lot of drivers on fresh tyres behind. A few of them have put on the mediums, but Joram has opted for the hard tyres, I believe, because he had to, because he couldn't go for the soft. They wouldn't last long enough, but you've got to obviously use two different tyre compounds. So Joram's been kind of like forced into putting the hard tyres on. Guys behind him, Chrissy, the Grieve will have more grip on the mediums, as will Rednass and T. Can they get their tyres to the end? That's the question. GGJ that leads ahead of League to League. Clarky Boy on soft tyres. Those will be definitely running quite thin at this point though, because he's on them for 9 laps. But Joe Ramos got himself into 7th place out of Street Boys. Chrissy's dropping down the order. Chrissy's in the wall on the exit of turn 1. Chrissy's had a big moment there. Joe Ramos now picked off P. Cheward as well. So Joe Ramos up into P6 on this restart. He's had an absolute flyer here, but it's GGJ from Bleak to Bleak at the moment. There's a half a second between them. GGJ weaving around, trying to break the toe here with Bleak to Bleak, as T's got ahead of Rednass up into P11. Noticing that one on the timing screen. Matty Pitt is within a second of Matty Pitt at this point. Did I just say... I meant Horatio's within a second of Matty Pitt. Did I say what I just think I said? No, I think I did. T nonetheless has gone deep, and he's almost hit Dr. Van Menem, and Dr. Van Menem saw that one coming. Oh no, and T has just tagged the back of him there. He's round. The T Latifi's lost it coming through. I feel bad calling him T Latifi now, because anybody who hasn't watched on this channel before is probably going to be thinking I'm digging him, or not digging him, but making a dig. But I'm actually not. He actually did used to be called T Latifi. But nonetheless, Rednass has got ahead of Dr. Van Millen up into the final points playing position, P10 here in this race at the moment. But lots of action going on here on this restart. GGJ's got a 7/10 of a second on that gap at the moment over Bleak to Bleak. You've got Clarky Boy running in P3 right behind these guys at the moment, keeping them on their toes. Matty Pitt ahead of Horatio, followed by Joram in 6th place. You've got P. Cheward there, has dropped off for these guys a bit, running there in P7. Street Boy there in 8th ahead of the Grieve, followed by Rednass in 10th place. Dr. Van Millen, Raki and Max GT running pretty close at the moment. Max GT is going to try and get a good run out of the last corner. He gets a massive slide there coming out onto the start finish straight. That would have just knocked him off a little bit off of the back of Raki at this point. But currently out the front is GGJ, who leads quite a slender lead over League to League. Clarky Boy has got Matty Pitt hassling the back of him for 3rd place, and we've lost the driver. Chrissy's out of the race. Please, for the love of all that's dear, don't be a star, for God's sake. Here we are then, guys. We're getting ready to go once again for the third restart. We've just had the third safety car period of the night. Let's hope and pray that that was the last one. But here we are anyway. We're just coming to the final few corners. The safety car's now pulling away. And just Horatio is now the leader of this train of cars. He's on the medium tyres. He's pretty worn out. He's gone for track position over tyre conservation, as is P. Cheward. You've got Street Boy there running in third ahead of the Grieve. Dr. Van Midden running in P5 on the hard tyres. Rednass there, P6 ahead of GGJ, who's pretty close on the back of him. And GGJ already getting ahead of Rednass here around the outside into turn one. So good stuff there from him. He's Johnny on the spot right there. As we can see, the Grieve has got ahead of Street Boy there up into third place as well. So that's a good move there from the Grieve. Horatio's breaking away a bit. He's got over a second of a gap here over P. Cheward right now. P. Cheward's got the Grieve licking all over the back of him. You've got Dr. Van Midden down the inside there of Street Boy, as he's gone actually straight over the chicane there, so he's going to have to get the positions back. Well, no, I wouldn't worry about it now, mate, because Stewart have taken care of that with the 10-second time penalty. But Clarky Boy there's got ahead of T, and we can see the Grieve following P. Cheward there through up into P3. So Dr. Van Midden there taking a big chunk out of the Yas Marina Circuit. He's been hitting the back by Street Boy there. Dr. Van Midden's all over the gaff. What's he doing? As he just ghosts straight through a few of the drivers. What's going on there? What's going on there, man? What are you doing? Come on. He might have given you a bit of a tap in the rear, but there's no excuse. Like, you can't just go ramming into people. I'm watching you here. You better not do anything. No. Okay. Right, now that's it. No. Don't come back. Don't come back, man. Don't come back. What the fuck is that all about? audio. Right, here we are, guys. We've got 9 laps left to go in the race, and I don't know what was going on there. Dr. Van Midden purposely crashed into Street Boy, blatantly, deliberately. Street Boy's managed to continue on in the race. I also hear reports on the Discord that T Latifi took out Matty Pitt as well, and apparently Clarky Boy got caught up in it as well, so God knows what's going on here, but here we are anyway. We've got 9 laps left to go in the race, and let's hope we don't have any more safety cars. GGJ leads the race on medium tyres. You've got Bleak to Bleak also on the same strategy. Jelram on reasonably fresh soft tyres. He's going to have to do 12 laps on them altogether, but a couple of those have been on the safety car, so Jelram might be able to get these soft tyres to the end. They'll be on a knife's edge by the end. Raki and Clarky Boy both on the medium tyres, same strategy as the top two. And the Greaves already got ahead of Clarky Boy, Street Boy's got ahead of P. Cheward, and Jelram is already up into P2 ahead of League of League as Joris Queepers has crashed out of the race straight away on this restart, as we are now down to 10 drivers here in this race. Rednass has got ahead of Street Boy up into 8th place, as Street Boy is now lost out to Horatio, so Street Boy now down to P10 in this one. GGJ is out in front though, but has got a 4/10 of a second lead over Jelram at the moment, as Jelram is hassling him and trying to bring himself back up into this battle for the lead at this point, but it's been a bit of an eventful night tonight. We've seen a few chaotic moments out on the track for whatever reason, we don't know. We got Rednass here on the back of Pichu, looking to the inside, down to the end of the log straight into the hairpin. A little bit too far back at the moment. Pichu holding around the outside. You've got Clarky Boy on the back of Raki and the Grieve here, as Grieve now looking around the outside here of Raki, side by side down towards the end of the second straight. Here we go. The Grieve's going to make this one work. Surely Raki trying to keep it on the inside of him, but the Grieve does get that one done up into 4th place, as Raki's now coming under pressure from Clarky Boy. Clarky Boy will be chasing the podium in this one, I'm pretty sure of that. He'll be having his sights set on the top 3 here. He's a very, very competitive racer in the F2 League at Excel on a Thursday night, and doesn't really get to race the F1 cars as much, but whenever he does, he's always up there. He's usually in a good points paying position, and right now he is in P6 right on the back of Raki, but we got 8 laps left to go in this race, as Joris Queepers has now left the session unsurprisingly there. Jelram is still on the back of GGJ, but it's a little bit too far back at the moment. The thing is though, Jelram knows he's got to look after his soft tyres, because he's done 5 laps on them at the moment, albeit only 3 of those have been only 2 of them have been under racing speeds. But here we go anyway. He's going to look to the inside now of GGJ. Is he going to send one here? No, GGJ holds it around the outside, but the thing is, GGJ can take everything out of those medium tyres. They are not going to go off before the end of the race. Jelram's soft tyres might go off in the last couple of laps, so he needs to keep them, he needs to look after them, he needs to take care of those tyres. But nonetheless, Rednass has had a moment, because he's dropped well off at the back of the rest of them. He's now nearly 10 seconds behind Street Boy, and Jelram side by side with GGJ for the lead of the race. Here goes Jelram for P1 here at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the final round of the season. Jelram makes the move there. League of League running in 3rd place ahead of the Grieve. You've got Raki, still got Clarky Boy pretty close on the back of him, but there's nearly a second now separating those two. P. Cheward has got Horatio pretty close on him as well, as these two are on the back of Clarky Boy. GGJ though has managed to slingshot his way back up into the lead again here on Jelram. So GGJ now leads the race again. Jelram now tucking in behind him, still keeping himself there, trying to come back at him if he can, but GGJ now your race leader as we're coming into the closing stages of this race. 7 laps left to go here at the Yas Marina Circuit, and GGJ once again with the ascendancy on those medium tyres. As we said before, it's going to be a tricky cat and mouse game between these two, because Jelram is on the faster tyres, but he needs to look after them, because if he doesn't look after them, they will not make it to the end. He needs to be quite conservative with how he's driving on those red marked soft tyres at this point, as GGJ's got a time penalty. Oh no, GGJ's just picked up a time penalty, which means that he's not only going to have to finish ahead of Jelram, he's also going to have to pull out a 3-second gap to him. So GGJ's best hope now of taking the win is for Jelram to pick up a time penalty, or he's going to have to pull out 3 seconds to him, but that, to me, seems unlikely. Here goes Jelram, he's got the run, got a much better exit out of turn 2 down towards the chicane, a little bit too far back at the moment, but if he can keep himself there and get a good exit out of the hairpin, he should be able to make a DRS move down this long straight, as onto the power they come out of the hairpin. Now down the straight they come, 4/10 between GGJ and Jelram. GGJ got a much better exit out of the corner than Jelram, but Jelram is now going to get the benefit of the rear wing. GGJ surely going to have to defend his position. No, Jelram actually got out of it a little bit there. just backed out of it as they were coming to the end of the straight, so thought better of it. As Clarky Boy's got P. Cheward pretty close on the back of him. He's a little bit too far back coming into the hairpin. Clarky Boy holding station on Raki at the moment as Rednass is coming out of the pits there, so he's put the soft tyres on, presumably going for the fastest lap here as Joram's around the outside of GGJ into the lead of the race. Joram has managed to move in the second DRS zone and it's back up into P1. GGJ's still there though, still keeping tabs on him at the moment, but the thing is, Joram has now done 6 laps on those soft tyres. They're going to be starting to go off ever so slightly now at this point. They're not going to be losing massive amount of performance, but after about 5 or 6 laps the softs do start to slowly drop away. So Joram's really got to make the most of the grip whilst it lasts here. Obviously we grant him that there were a few laps under safety car, so he's probably done about 3 or 4 racing laps on them. So at the moment Joram should have a major ascendancy over GGJ. How long that's going to last we don't know, but Joram at the moment, the fastest lap of the race of 37.9, as GGJ's now still trying to keep tabs on him at the moment. Fleeg de Vlieg there running in 3rd place in the final podium spot, has got about a second back to the Grieve. You've got Horatio now hassling the back of Clarky Boy into turn 1. They come here for the 23rd time in this race. Can't make the move just there though at the moment. But yeah, he's still very much there, still waiting in the wings, hoping he might be able to pounce on Clarky Boy. As we've got Street Boys on the back of P. Cheward in this battle for 8th and 9th places. Joram has opened up just about a second of the gap here to GGJ, but GGJ just keeping it in the DRS zone, crucially there for GGJ, keeping himself in tow. Joram done 5 laps on those soft tyres as GGJ very late on the brakes coming into the chicane, gets it stopped in time. Can he get a good exit out of the corner? He doesn't really manage to do so. We'll get another helping of DRS here, which will bring him that a little bit closer to the back of Joram. Here they come down to the end of the second straight. So the gap just about 3/10 of a second. GGJ once again late on the brakes. Joram though doing what he has to do at the moment, and without the time penalty it will be definitely looking like his race at this point, as Horatio's got ahead of Raki up into P5. Goes deep though as Horatio's got ahead of Raki and Clarky Boy on the same lap here, but Raki looking to the inside, trying to come back at him. Clarky Boy now around the outside of Raki, side by side here, and you can see P. Cheward's trying to get involved in this as well. Let's ride on board with Clarky Boy here as Raki squeezes back around the outside of him there. Great racing from these guys as P. Cheward's watching this unfold in front of him. Clarky Boy still can't find a way through ahead of Raki, and Horatio's cleared both of them and is now driving off into the distance there in 5th place. GGJ is clinging to the back of Joram just about, but Joram should be able to pull away on those soft tyres at this point. But we don't know what GGJ is going to have left to throw at him in the final couple of laps once, because Joram's tyres will wear off. That's a guarantee. But in the last couple of laps, those soft tyres will be hanging on. So GGJ needs to be there. He needs to keep himself in the hunt, as Joram got a horrible run there coming through the chicane, and GGJ's now pulled right up onto the back of him here. So Joram with a little bit of a mistake coming through the first sector. That's given GGJ another bite here. He'll have DRS down the straight, the first long straight, and he's going to put out the slipstream now. He's going to, I think, get there just a little bit too late, but Joram at the moment is just trying to hold him at bay. GGJ keeping himself in the hunt, because as we know, Joram's tyres will be starting to go off in the last couple of laps. GGJ once again DRS down the second straight. He's a little bit closer this time, but this straight's not quite as long as the first one, so you'll have to really work hard on this one. He's looking around the outside. Joram though goes a little bit earlier on the brakes. GGJ gets it around the outside, manages to make the move stick there, and GGJ back up into the lead of the race. These two trading positions here, having a great little scrap out of the front, and GGJ once again leads the final race of the season, but Joram is giving it everything and fighting him tooth and nail for this one, but obviously needs to keep aware of his tyre situation, as we can see on the timing board that Horatio has pulled out a bit of a gap here to Clarky Boy and Raki. P. Cheward is right on the back of Raki here. Street Boy's being dragged along with him as well, as P. Cheward runs into the back, almost ran into the back of Raki there. You saw that for a second he was out of the car, so I don't know whether he's lagging a bit. He seems to be lagging quite horrendously, as the Grieve has got a 3-second time penalty for track limits, which is going to just, I think, probably derail his chances of getting onto the podium here. GGJ has still got the lead ahead of Joram, but Joram is now within 0.2 of a second coming down towards the chicane. Joram always seems quicker through the first sector than GGJ, but then GGJ just is more confident on the brakes from what I've seen. Maybe loses a bit of time in the mid part of the corner due to that, but he's very late on the brakes, he always is. Joam though's got DRS and will breeze past him. He's so close to him, he didn't even really need the slipstream. He just absolutely left him for dead there down the straight. Joam back up into the lead. GGJ will get the DRS on Joam for the second straight though. GGJ late on the brakes again, taps him in the rear there. Keeps onto his front wing. He didn't look like he got any damage there, but that was pretty close there between those two. Now GGJ will get another helping of DRS and will be forced around the outside with Joam covering that inside line. GGJ there swoops around the outside there into the chicane. Joam though keeps his nose there. He's around the outside though. GGJ's made that move stick once again with 4 laps left to go in this race. These two looks like it's going to go down to the wire for this race win for the final round of the season here at Motive for the F1 League. League to League losing touch with these two now. They are leaving him a little bit there. He's down in P3, but he's got a bit of a gap back to the Grieve and looks like he's pretty comfortable in that position. You've got Horatio there running in P5. Clarky Boy has managed to gap Racky. He's got ahead of him and gapped him by about a second, but he's lost about 4 seconds to Horatio, who is on those fresh soft tyres, and we'd expect him really to have the pace that he has at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Horatio gets himself onto the podium at this rate, with the rate at which he's closing in the Grieve, and the Grieve making a little mistake there. You saw coming out of the penultimate corner of League to League is 5 seconds up the road. I tell you what, it would be a real push for Horatio to get on the podium, but if he can get ahead of the Grieve quickly, then he might have a chance of reeling in League to League in the final couple of laps of this race. But nonetheless, it's GGJ still leading ahead of Joam as these two battle it out for the lead here for the final round of the season. 0.6 of a second currently separating them as they're coming out of the hairpin here for the 26th time down the long straight. This is the same part of the track where Joam made the move on him on the previous lap. It's going to be an exact repeat of the previous lap as Joam round the outside didn't quite do it as comfortably this time as he did on the previous lap, but he is back up into the lead. But GGJ is going to just be given another helping of slipstream and another dose of DRS, which is going to allow him to pretty much do exactly the same thing that he's done on the last couple of laps. Here we go, GGJ now picking up the slipstream. Looks like he's not picking up as much of an overspeed this time. He's going to have to really work for this one. Around the outside he goes. Joam's still there. As we go trackside there, GGJ does squeeze around the outside, but that one a little bit closer than what it was on the previous lap. But these two are still putting on a fantastic show out the front. But the thing is, now Joam has done 10 laps on those soft tyres, and obviously I know a couple of those were under the safety car, so 7 racing laps on the soft tyres. They'll be starting to feel the pace a little bit now. GGJ on the mediums shouldn't be having any problems at this point. He's only done about 7 or 8 racing laps on his mediums. They'll be good to go to the end at full beans, so Joam might find himself struggling a little bit in comparison to GGJ coming through these last couple of laps. But here we are, penultimate lap of the race, penultimate lap of the season. GGJ and Joam still having a great scrap here. Joam obviously the champion-elect. He's already taken the title this season. He's got it wrapped up before the final round this week. He qualified down in P18 on the grid it was, so he's done a fantastic job in this race, to be fair, and he's helped a bit by the safety cars, but nonetheless do not discredit him because he was up into P7 after about 2 laps. So he went from 18th to 7th. He gained 11 places in a lap and a half. He was on a charge at the start of this race. There's no other word for it. But Joam has now got the DRS on GGJ once again, and this should be another slipstream and DRS manoeuvre here. Down the inside he goes. Didn't need to go around the outside this time. GGJ knew it was coming. No point in defending it. Taps him in the rear a little bit. Once again, GGJ a little bit later on the brakes than Joam, as he gets a little bit out of shape there, and this could be a chance for Joam to pull the gap. GGJ will still have DRS, but unfortunately for him, because of his exit, he's ruined his chances of coming back at Joam coming into the chicane. And Joam, for the first time in quite a few laps, has managed to hold on to the position coming into the final sector. So this could be massive for Joam if he can have a quick sequence of corners here, then that might be able to cement him his chance of taking the win here tonight at Abu Dhabi. GGJ's going to fight it with everything he's got though, that is for sure, as the Grieve is still on the back of Horatio in the fight for 4th and 5th places. They've got a bit of a gap back to Clarky Boy in P6. Horatio though has actually got ahead of the Grieve up into 4th place. I think they're a little way behind De Vlieg running in 3rd place, so Horatio looks like 4th place is going to be the summit of his ambitions tonight. Clarky Boy only 3 seconds behind. If those two trip over each other, he could be right there. Joam has lost out to GGJ down the straight. And what's happened to Joam? What's happened to Joam? He seems to be paddling here. What has happened to Joam? Has he got damage on the car? He's backed off massively coming to the first sector here. He looks to be struggling. I don't know what's happened to Joram here, but he seems to be struggling a bit. Is he stopping the car? Has he got no fuel? What's going on? So the champion of the F1 League here, weaving around all over the place. What is going on? And that is going to give GGJ a bit of a walkover here on this final lap of the race. Half a lap left to go. As he's coming out of that chicane onto the second straight under the Yas Marina bridge. Joram here struggling on this last lap. Could Horatio actually be on for a podium here? Joram, I think he's run out of fuel or something. He's still going. He's still going 170 miles an hour, but he's weaving around, and I don't know what's happened there to Joram, but he seems to have a problem of some sort. Whether he's got a hold of it now, but he's obviously lost a couple of laces, and he's a long way off for the lead. But GGJ coming into the final few corners, jumps in as a reserve tonight, has done absolutely superbly since he jumped in as a reserve. Has raced a few times this season, did a couple of comms on his league on a Monday night as well. GGJ PS coming into the final few corners. He's got a 3-second time penalty there for track limits, but that's not going to bother him too much. I think he should be good. He's got 7 seconds back to league to league. He might be close, you know. GGJ comes over the line to take the win on the track. Of league to league coming over the line. I think it's going to be P2 for him. It is P2. Horatio, oh, somebody lost it there in the background. Horatio comes around to take 3rd place. Clarky Boy's got ahead of the Grieve up in 2-4. So Clarky Boy comes over to take P4 in the end. As the Grieve is losing out, what's happening to the Grieve? He's lost out to P2, and well, the penalties have just changed it up a bit. P2 5th, the Grieve 6th, Raki 7th, Street Boy finished in 8th place in the end. Joam dropped to 9th place on the last lap. So I do not know what has happened there to Joam. He seems, I think he's got a puncture. Yeah, that is a puncture. That is a puncture there. Joam has got a puncture. So that's why he's struggling so much on this last lap. He's picked up a rear puncture. You can't actually really see it, to be fair. But yeah, that is a very strange one indeed. As Rednass there is doing some donuts. I think he's a lap down on Joram. Joram is now... Oh no, he's just doing some donuts. No, he's just doing some donuts. Okay, no, fair enough. Fair enough. Joram out of the last corner. He's going to take P9. Ah, right, so his puncture was due to some donuts. So, anyway, Joram over the line to take P9, the reigning champion, 2-time champion in the F1 League here at Motive. Comes over to take 2 championship points and gets the driver of the day. Despite his last lap antics there. So, Joram takes driver of the day, starting in 18th place. But the man of the moment today was GGJ, who took an absolutely superb win, had a great fight with Joram for most of that race. And he is the one who takes the plaudits here tonight in the Alfa Romeo. But yeah, great racing there from everybody tonight, as apart from a couple. League to League takes 2nd place behind GGJ, and Horatio taking a well-deserved podium with a very late charge there in 3rd place. Clarky Boy takes P4 ahead of P2 and in 5th, followed by the Grieve 6th. Then Raki in 7th place. Street Boy 8th ahead of Joram 9th. Joris Coopers takes, Rednass takes 10th place, followed by Joris Coopers in 11th, Dr. Van Midden 12th, T Latifi in 13th place after apparently a bit of a skirmish, which we haven't seen yet. Matty Pitt P14 DNF'd, Max GT also DNF'd, as well as Chrissy, TTV, Chicken Wing and Attack on Fighting. Only 10 cars finishing the race, and lots of DNFs tonight, which is obviously a bit of a shame, but nonetheless, that is that then, ladies and gentlemen, for another season of the F1 League. Not the finale that I'd hoped for, I will admit. It was a bit of a mess tonight. But, yeah, we're going to have to look into a few of the incidents there in that race, because that was a bit of a show. Especially from Dr. Van Midden. Again, I've heard reports from T Latifi about his driving, but I don't know. Nonetheless, let's not let that be a smite on what was a great couple of seasons here on the F1 2021 game here at Motive. I'm struggling right now. It's boiling hot, and I knew I'd struggle at the start, to be fair. It's been quite a slog here, but it's 31 degrees and we've got no aircon obviously in the UK. Most houses don't have aircon in the UK, so yeah, massive struggle. But once again, Thanks everybody, and we'll see you next season. Guys, if you want to sign up to the F1 22 leagues here at Motive, be sure to keep your eyes out for that. The sign-ups will be going out tonight. I'm going to be putting an all-nighter to get out all the sign-ups for tonight, so keep your eyes out for that. Thanks to all the drivers, thanks to all the viewers. We'll see you later, guys.